Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to David Nair on air, all the way from Chennai, India. I understand we commenced the broadcast at an event here in India, and it is sent right through to countries such as Australia, South Africa, UAE, US, Canada, and Malaysia, Singapore. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome each one of you who are looking at us and watching us from the various locations. I do hope if you have any questions, you're welcome to put that on the chat, private chat here. Or if you have not answered your question, do not, and I emphasize, do not hesitate to send me an email at support@davidnair.net. That's support@davidnair.net. Let me just briefly point out who I am so you get a feel for the interviewer here today. As a peak performance coach, David Nair has worked in the last 3 decades with over excess of 300,000 people across the globe. My key purpose in bringing on-air conversations is to create a mindset shift, a heart set shift, and a soul set shift in 1 million people, such that their lifestyle could be increased and improved, such that the next generation could have a better life, leaving behind a legacy. And I use the term legacy in the form of hope, spelled HOPE, help other people evolve. And that's the name of the game we are in today. I have great pleasure in bringing on board 2 key ladies who have been working with me in mentoring them through the last 30 odd weeks. And fortunately, we have a outcome out of this, which is a book titled Grail. And that book will be launched as of the 15th of October. Ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, let me just introduce you to the speakers that I currently am working with. Both of them are from India. The first lady is Jyoti, an engineer, a yoga teacher, life coach, speaker, healer, a founder of Manifestation Blueprint Mastermind, founder of Bright Sparks Academy, and an author. The second lady, Dr. Fauzia Shamshad, a PhD in psychology, cognitive behavior therapist, hypnotist, NLP practitioner, power parenting coach, founder of Fortitude community, and founder of the Gratitude Club. Ladies, I welcome you on board to 10 News for us to have a discussion on our discourse today, which is purpose. Hi, Jyoti, and hi, Dr. Fauzia. How are you?
Hi, David. Hi, Fauzia.
Good.
Please unmute yourself. Dr. Fauzia, please unmute yourself.
Good.
Fauzia, there's some background noise in your area.
No, it is white.
Okay, good. Please, and how are you? Both. Please introduce yourself. Let's start with Jyoti. A short story about yourself and your journey through with the mastermind that we're working in, MRM, and to this point of releasing your purpose.
Thank you, David, and thank you, 10 News, for giving us this opportunity to be here on this platform. It's a privilege to be, interacting with David, Fauzia, and our audiences. So let me introduce myself. My name is Jyoti Gidwani. I'm an author, coach, and speaker. I did my schooling at Sindhya School, Gwalior, and did my engineering from Pune University. Since childhood, I was intrigued and fascinated by terms like soul, spirituality, energy, life, and meaning of life. This led me to learn several healing modalities like Reiki, acupressure, feng shui, Vastu, and a whole bunch of it. I did my yoga teachers training course way back in 1998, and I wrote my first book, Yoga for Sound Body and Mind. It has been in print for 25 years and has sold 5,000 copies. Motherhood opened new horizons for me, and I have been in the field of education for last 10 years. Life coaching was another dream which was locked in the safety vault of my eyes until 2 decades later I met my mentor, Mr. Arfin Khan, and started my coaching journey. And it is in the international community of coaches that we met Mr. David Nair, who's also my mentor, friend, philosopher, guide, and my 3 a.m. friend. Because Australia is the time difference is there, so any kind of problem, he's just a message away. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Fantastic, fantastic, Jyoti. Let me just move on to Dr. Fauzia. Yourself, please, would you like to introduce yourself? And at the same time, how did you equip yourself with some of the philosophies of MRM, hence coming out with a purpose?
Thank you, David. Thank you a lot for this opportunity to be on this platform. So, hi, audience. This is Dr. Fauzia Shamshad, and I am a power parenting coach. And I have been in this field of psychology since last 22 years, 10 years of studies, and 12 years of practice. Even after finishing my PhD, I was always in the quest to learn something more and more. And that's why, along with my practice, I have done hypnotherapy, NLP, life coaching, and so on. And the best thing I did, I joined Mental Resilience Mastermind. It was just a very great decision that synchronized all my learning into a purpose. I was also utilizing my knowledge for helping people earlier also, but in empathizing with them, I was neglecting myself, my family, and especially my children. But with the very first session, I got this realization that how important it is to have a me time, morning rituals, and by doing so, it made created a balance between all the four spheres of life, that is spiritual, professional, physical, and family. And I'm very glad that I made the decisions because it made my destiny. And during every session, every week, we grow step by step, and with every session I just did a lot of self reflection, that how I can contribute, how I can find my gift, special gift that God has bestowed upon me. And during these last 30 weeks have been a wonderful journey because I found my purpose. I realized that the most important years in person's life is the initial years of childhood, where the actual personality is formed. If it is nurtured properly, uh, with lots of love and care and attention, we can generate give a very beautiful generation that would be very civilized, cultured, and strong character. So I got my purpose, and now I'm on a mission to improve impact the life of families, 1 million families, to raise their parenting standards so that we can have a happier families, which will lead to happier community, and which will lead to happier nation. That is all that I'm onto it with my purpose.
Fabulous. Wow. Well put. Um, Ladies, I just want you to each share not just your journey, but in the end, as we went through for the last 7 weeks, especially, we were able to put together a book titled Grail.
Yeah.
Now, can you, for probably a minute or two, just share your experience of developing the purpose and then synchronizing that to a book, a chapter in a book? What's your feeling? Can you just share that?
Like, I was overwhelmed by with this feeling because it's just not a chapter, it is like the preview of my life, because
Hmm.
I have written whatever I feel, how I connected my dots, and how I find this purpose, because finding a purpose is like getting a clear vision of your future. And it's when I read my my chapter in that book, I found that it is my vision or mission statement that is going to drive me all my life.
Fabulous, fabulous. And you, Jyoti?
So the MRM journey started with the power leaps that you have taken us through, and we have grown and evolved. The MRM journey has given me a mentor like you. It has given me a tribe, a community, and the outcome of this entire MRM journey was the book Grail, in which 30 authors have collaborated and we have worked together. We are spread across three continents, four countries, and we were working from different time zones. The power rooms that we were in, we were kind of working 24/7. And it is not that we didn't have challenges and other things, but as a team, we were ready to step in and help each other. So it's been a beautiful and amazing journey. And even I have evolved with my purpose through this journey.
Fabulous, fabulous. An anthology of purpose with 30 authors giving their perspective in a book titled Grail. Tick your life right with purpose. Ladies, let's just groove ourselves into the next phase of how did you find the challenges as you went into purpose and what did you do with that? Your challenges. Who would like to take that on? Dr. Fauzia?
Okay, for me, open up to people was a big challenge to me. Basically, I'm a very introvert kind of a person, and sharing my personal life, my personal experience with the people around, and to the parents that are going through the same challenges that I have went through, make me more vulnerable. And I feel the power. The more I share, the more they are benefited. So the more empowered I became. So this is the biggest challenge I overcome during this journey of MRM. And I'm now very much confident to share anything from my life because it's like a book now. Because this grail has given me this opportunity to open up to people, and I have read the chapters of others in of my co-authors, that how simply they were so honest in expressing their experiences, their like personal and most traumatic grief period, and they can share that. It was a great insight when you read them and you feel that how they have overcome all those challenges, and they make you more empowered. So opening up to the people was a great challenge that I overcome in this through this writing of the Grail along with my co-authors.
Fabulous. Now, let me just deep dive on that. Prior to the book, you were a little bit resistant in opening up. Why do you think that could have been the case? I'm coming in from a behavior
Because I
perspective.
have always been in the fear of being judged. I always think that I should see the other people should see me as a strong woman, so intellectual woman, or something of great virtue. But during the MRM, I realized that it's more important to be you, who you are, what the quality you possess, because no human being can be errorless. Everybody commits mistakes and learn through them. And I realized that making mistake is a very natural process. If you learn from this mistake, you just go up to the next level. And if you don't learn from that mistakes, you keep on repeating the same mistakes until unless you got that learning. So for me, opening up is like moving to next steps. When I feel confident, when I feel empowered, only then I can make others feel empowered. It's like it's a give and take of energy. What you always suggest is ask in MRM, that give, and when you're fully tired and can't give anything else, just give. That gives me
Okay.
the power to open up.
Thank you for that. Hey, listen, with this transformation in you, how did your family look at you? They're wondering, who's this woman now? Where's mom come from? Where's my wife? How,
Actually, because I have, it has changed my life 360-degree, and my children like are my hands, right and left hands now, because as we have gone through the skill development sessions in MRM, and my now my children help me to be on social media and how to put post and all those things, and we grow together. So our
wow.
family bonding was also increased because of this MRM. So I'm very grateful to you and this community, because
Thank you.
it is
Thank
like
you.
a family now, and I can message anyone anytime to need any type of help, and that's the power of a group that I enjoyed over here.
Fabulous. Thank you for that. Thank you. Jyoti, your perspective on that.
So the greatest challenges was, working on my weaknesses,
Mm-hmm.
and, coming out, there were inhibitions, vulnerability factor was there, opening up and sharing up my story. So then I did a lot of self reflection, and I told myself that every strong woman has two choices, either to be a victim or a hero. And then I started scripting my story, and I told myself that this is going to heal, inspire many more people out there. So that is how, I came out with the story. And facing the camera was another big challenge. So today I'm in front of camera. So it was a big challenge for me. Yeah.
Fabulous, fabulous. You feel great that you're able to do that. How is your daughter taken to this now?
My daughter's also enjoying the phase. She knows that mom has so many Zoom meetings and, communicating with all coaches and friends, working on the book and script and social media. She feels proud of me.
Good, good, good. Let me deep dive further. Before I do that, I want you to just recap your definite major purpose so we've got that crystal clear. Jyoti.
So, my definite major purpose is to empower women and children, to help them see their self worth, to help them discover their inner powers, and help them develop the spiritual muscle by scientific understanding of heart, mind, and brain, to achieve their desires within the desired time frame by surrendering and having the faith.
Now, how do you plan to deep dive into that? Are you looking at setting up a mastermind, a couple of programs, or what?
Yes, I'm already running a mastermind called Manifestation Blueprint, in which
Hmm.
I've got beautiful testimonials also, and I
Yeah.
can see that lives are being touched. And I'll particularly share one testimonial, wherein I one of the participant is my niece, and it's very very difficult to convince your own family. So my niece
Yes.
is a BTech engineer and MBA, and she had this desire to manifest rise in the salary and bonus. Now multinational companies, they announce their bonuses once in a year, so it was very difficult for her to understand that how will it manifest. So I told her, just go ahead, don't think about the why. And her bonuses were announced in December, and by April she got a salary hike and second bonus also. So it's a
Wow.
very empowering feeling when the youngsters start believing that there is some inner power, and universe helps us conspire our heart's desire if it is for greater good.
Fabulous, fabulous. And yourself, Dr. Fauzi, what is your definite major purpose? Let's recap that, and then how are you going to pull that through to the community? You need to unmute yourself.
Now I'm on a mission to make my country among the top 5 of global ranking in parenting standards. So,
Right.
because parenting standard
Yes.
is directly proportional to the prosperity of the nation, and it has huge impact on future generation, talent pool, industry demands, and collective happiness. So I am onto it now because my knowledge of child psychology and psychology, because I know that if we nurture at that at right time, we would be having a great generation ahead. So this time it is the best time to plant the seed and nurture them for the future.
Mhm.
Fabulous, fabulous. Dr. Fauzia, I'm going to drill down into another area. When we talk about purpose, there is so much spoken about it out there. One thing that stands out is the myths that are there on purpose. Could you identify two myths that you feel are out there and just deep dive into one of them, please?
So there are many myths that purpose has to have, like, for to implement or to have purpose, you must have certain resources, you must be highly educated and intellectual, or anything, you certain have age that you start with retirement or anything. But what I feel that you don't need any resources, all you need a good intention and your energy to go for it. Because during the MRM we have done all those things penniless. We have not put any penny in skill development, in this publishing of this book and writing, and so many things we have done collectively and without spending a single penny. So I now I have this vision, this you just think it and you universe will make the path for you. Just have good intention and start working on it. Your path will be paved by God. So you don't need to have that much resources, so you all need to have that passion, that desire to help, that desire to contribute. That makes your purpose.
The bottom line is you still got to work. As long as you put the work with all of this, it's going to
Yes,
bulldoze your way through, right?
you're right,
Fabulous,
exactly.
fabulous, fabulous. What about you, Jyoti? How can I get you to look at this aspect?
The myths, yeah, I
Yes.
think a lot of people think that after retirement they'll look for a purpose. But you can, as soon as you are awakened, you can find your purpose and walk on the path of purpose. And you don't need any resources, as we have proven with Grail, that only with the help of our own skill set and time we have come with this outcome of this book. And no, without any monetary resources we have been able to do. And also people feel that family and commitments uh, don't allow them to take up a purpose, but we have done it all along with the family commitments and work and our daily schedules.
So basically, what you're saying is, you still ran your own daily routines, you did your business that you have or your work that you have, plus the chores at home that you had to take care of
Yes.
and manage this. Wow. How were you able to juggle all of that?
Because if you have a strong purpose, you don't have to be pushed. Your passion drives you.
Uh-huh.
Plus all of
Yeah,
the learnings that
yeah.
we got from MRM about time management, me time, and all the learnings that have come handy, we have practically applied them all.
And you see, this is where all it took was that very hard to conceptualize and put into practice?
No, with the entire team together, supporting each other, it was an easy journey.
Right, right. And why do you think people use that as a roadblock to not break through? Both of you can answer this. Why do you think people use that as a roadblock and not break through for their betterment?
It's about, getting out of that comfort zone. So that fear is there in the minds of people, to cross over that barrier and coming out of comfort zone.
What about yourself, Dr. Fauzia?
Yeah, I also feel that people procrastinate. They just don't want to take the responsibility, the ownership of their actions. They want other things to happen to them, and then they will react towards it, but they don't want to create their own destiny by taking the responsibility of their own life, the ownership of their life. That is the main roadblock for them. Once they start taking that this is my life, the God has given me the power to make it whatever the way I want to. Because for people greatly misunderstood the word destiny, they think that is something happens to us is destiny. In reality, what I feel that destiny is actually the taking actions. We in a life we always have options. We always have two options when we have to decide. So it is we who decide, and we take on action on that, and that our life start going in that direction. So that makes our destiny. The action we choose makes our destiny. So that is the big misconception about destiny. The people procrastinate and don't take their ownership of their life.
And do you think because you understood some of these fundamentals, you're able to then practice, and obviously with the discussions that were taking place in MRM, you're able to then cement some and then trial it out, which means you're not now pontificating, you're not just talking about it, you've gone and practiced it. Does that give you the confidence to say, man, this is gonna make it and I'm going to
Yes,
work on it?
absolutely. The three pillars we have practiced at MRM, that is faith, commitment, and consistency. These three things actually makes the difference in life. It has always happened with the people that start doing something and good, and they feel good about it, and soon the
Fizzle
passion,
off.
soon the energy fizzle off, and they just leave it. this is what we learn in MRM, that consistent even when you don't feel like doing it, and being disciplined. What actually discipline is that you doing things you don't feel like, but you know, and you have to do it and you do it. That makes the difference. This is what we practice in MRM: faith, commitment, and consistency.
Fabulous. And did this help because of this journey and cranking everything together? I call it. Did it help with the decision making?
Of course, definitely. This is what make this mind, like, it's broadened our vision, because as soon as we learn something, we get the results and we realize that, oh, it was not that hard as we were thinking. And we pave the path for all more things, because in initial weeks we practice these things, this energy tracker, time management, and time trackers, all those things. So we are doing multitasking things. That earlier it was like, we are so much of works to do, how can we evolve, how can we have a purpose in life? But now it is not that. It is like a daily routine. It is something, no matter what, do at least one single act that contribute to your purpose. That's it. And that's just what consistency we talk about.
Right, right. Hey, Jyoti, you don't have to sit there. You can intervene in our discussion.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
ask a question to both of you. I don't want you to just sit there. Good. Now, what about yourself, Jyoti? In this particular aspect, when you started working on it,
Mhm.
and knowing you're a busy lady with a lot of the work that you're doing outside extracurricular work, how did your perspective change, to say, I'm going to do this despite all of that? How much did it take for you to shift there?
Purpose is very important for us to grow and evolve. And
Hmm.
I've always felt, that there is a greater purpose. So, Almighty made us to get locked in the eat, sleep, drink, earn money, get married, raise kids, and die cycle? So, is there another level of this game which is still unlocked? And how do we qualify to be able to unlock that level, and how we rise up in this game? And do we all have that infinite potential? Do we have any value, and are we aware of it? And how do I travel in this journey from passion to purpose? So I kept questioning myself about all these aspects, and the path was paved. So then it becomes easy to combine all of it together.
Right, right. Let me just come down further. What do you think are some of the benefits in deriving this purpose? And I want you to rattle out as many as you can, and then hone in on one or two.
Okay, so for me, MRM has given me benefits in all aspects, whether it is physical, mental, emotional, spiritual resilience. So, all put together, complete resilience. And it has given us clarity, confidence, commitment, and consistency.
And how are you going to journey with this? If you deep dive into one of them, how is that going to impact your life compared to what it was before?
So, consistency is one major aspect where I was lacking, and consistency has put me on the path.
Okay. And when you say consistency, can you elaborate on that a bit, please?
So if you're
Give an
working on
example.
okay, so if you're working on something, you have to be consistent. So at times we have energy leaks. So when we talk about mental resilience, there are a lot of factors around us that causes the energy leaks. Now with this awareness, we are able to plug in those energy leaks so that our energy is directed to what we want,
Hmm.
and work
And
on
what
it
makes
consistently.
excellent? What is a trigger that tells you to say, okay, I'm going to, plug this and I'm going to work on this. I'm going to focus on this without any distractions. What is a trigger?
So awareness is the key.
Right.
So to be aware and to be watchful, mindful, that now I'm slipping in the low states, and the low states cause us to take wrong decisions. So we have
Mm-hmm.
to keep our states elevated so that our decision making is proper.
Mm-hmm. Fabulous. How much of this have you passed on to your daughter, who is actually coming through young teens?
Yes, so that is the thing, when I was working with kids and when I was raising her, I felt that aha moment, that babies have this tremendous potential. But somewhere down the line, it fades. So I
Mm.
thought of having mothers too in the journey so that we can help empower and awaken our kids.
Right.
Now, when we talk about the potential fading, it is particularly in the teenage that it happens, where there's a lot of peer pressure, a lot of environmental changes, different situations are there in kids' life, particularly after the lockdown. Kids are hooked on to gadgets and they feel that they're entitled to use the gadgets. They have their own
Mm-hmm.
laptop, own iPad, and multiple devices they have. So, for me, it's like, practically walking on this path. And I also want her to be a part of the next MRM group so that she
Oh,
also gets
wow.
the learning directly from the mentor.
So what we're going to have is we're going to have a parent and a kid MRM group. No, we're going to combine them. We're going to combine them. You guys can take care of the kids while they're in there. I don't know yet. We'll figure that out later. Dr. Fauzia, can you please share how these benefits had impacted you and what are the benefits? And then drill down two of them, please.
For me, MRM is like synchronized all my learning because the things were scattered. I was doing something this, that, and but now I'm on a track. I have planned everything for my future, for my family, and everything. And it's all start with me. The very first session I got my breakthrough with the me time and the morning rituals. That is the basic thing, because if I don't recharge myself, how I can pass on the energy to the other people? So it is like refilling my cup first to pour it to the others before pouring it to the others.
Yeah.
This is the one of the most important breakthrough I got, and it is now embedded in my daily routine. It is like my part of daily routine, and I'm into it. Like it's becoming my second nature. And in MRM, we have this faith in ourselves, faith in God, and faith in our buddies. That is, we often overthink that if we ask some person whether he will react or he will judge, or but now it is not so, because we are more concerned. We should be more concerned with our thoughts, because what we are thinking, that is what we are transmitting to other person, and this is what proved in MRM. Anytime I called anybody to help me out, and they was there to help me in whatever they were, the way they can. And so that's why I have a lot of benefits. Like I have developed many skills. I was camera shy. I was not aware of like technology and this social media. Everything was developed during these journey of MRM. So these are the benefit that sets your base to become empowered, to become enlightened. And on spiritual level also, because there were so many people in our community that believe in cosmic powers and they talk about energy, that opens up a different perspective as well. So we don't look the world with our only limited vision. Now we have different perspective of different type of people from different background, and they all are with the same motive to help others. So I
Mm.
realized that it is the same energy we are possessing. So it is what the power of mastermind. So I now I realize that why it is so important to have a mastermind around you, to have a like-minded people around you. These are the three most important benefit that I got from this MRM masterminds. And like Jyoti, my daughter is like very inclined to be the part of this next batch of MRM. That she wanted to see what the why they is this change so easy for mom, that she has been working since long, but now she's completely changed. Sometimes they are like, is this the way she used to react? How comes? How can be she's so cool? And I'm really be proud of that moment, that I'm able to do that.
Fantastic. My God. How old is your daughter?
My daughter is in class 12. She's 16.
Wow. Wow. Fabulous. I mean, to be able to connect, obviously, mom and dad connect with kids, but to be able to get to that depth of connection is where I'm coming from. It's a real buzz. I mean, I'm so happy that it's happened. Um, Truly grateful, to both of
Actually,
you
you
to
are
step
not
up.
just impacted this us 30 coaches, you have impacted 30 families.
Families, true,
Thank you,
true.
thank you, thank you so much. Um, Coming down, you have now journeyed through, you've gone through and made some transformations, you've gone through and written a book, a chapter in a book, and we now are in the process and of looking at new MRM members coming through. How do you see this platform evolving over time? I want your honest perspective, and I've not asked you this question before, and so I want you to be open, transparent in sharing how can this benefit a lot of the others.
Okay, I'll
Firstly,
answer it.
Oh,
okay,
go.
go ahead.
You see, it's taking you 30 minutes to just chill out, okay? As soon as Fauzia said, cool, mom, things are opening up. Come on, talk to me, please.
Yes, Jyoti.
So, in this journey of MRM, our mentor David Nair has given us, wholeheartedly. He has only given us, and in the process, we have evolved so much that now we are ready to give it out. So, when we are graduating now, and when the next batch of MRM comes, we are going to be their buddies and help them in the entire journey.
Wow. It's good that you guys make the decision. That's great. The job is easy, yeah? Great. Thank you so much, Jyoti. What about you, Fauzia?
Like for me, because I have myself gone out from this transformation, gone through from this transformation, so I want my each and every friend to be the part of this mastermind, and I'm after them. Just you do have to come, and you do have to attend, at least have a glimpse what the power of mastermind can change your life, how what actually transformation is, because they all are, because people are usually in their comfort zone, they are eating, drinking, and having a fun time with their family. So it is like being in the comfort zone. So I want to push them out to be, that you have many more things to do, you have you should have a purpose of your life, how you could contribute. So how can you be so lazy, how can you procrastinate? So these are the things I'm doing on my end to push them and to be a part of mastermind.
I love it. I love it. Good, good. Tell me, what is out of the 30 weeks? I know we've got a book out. I keep harping on that, but what is one thing that really got you thinking in depth to say, I have now transformed because of that one thing? What is it that you can anchor yourself on?
My morning routine and my me time. These are the
Fabulous.
two basic things that keep me energetic whole day, and they create a balance in my life, and I'll be able to do multitasking because of this ritual. Because earlier it was like, okay, sometimes I do meditation, sometimes I do journaling, but now it is consistent, and only consistency produce results, and you have to be committed to be consistent, and you have to have faith that your consistency and commitment are going to pay you and going to create results, not just results, outcomes.
Hmm.
So this, the very first session was into MRM, I was like, no, no matter what, I always make my Thursdays free so that I can be in a MRM.
Yeah, yeah. It's not hard. We don't need a. I'm sorry to be this way inclined. We don't need a PhD for that. It's just basic
Okay.
practice.
Actually.
But the point is, the discipline needs to come in, right? When we get the
Right.
discipline, and we got a lot of buddies to help us, it makes the job so much easier. And life is supposed to be fun, yeah. I mean, that's
And
basically what
having
I
an
want.
accountability partner is what the one
Ah,
thing that always makes the change. Because when you
right,
are accountable to someone, you always try to be your best. Otherwise, you
right.
just fizzle away that, okay, I'll do later on, or you procrastinate. But when you are accountable to somebody, you try to be your best.
Hmm. It's interesting you say that, because I know the daily rituals had been a challenge when we first implemented it because it was such a huge paradigm shift for people. And it's not easy. Okay, it's not easy. I'll be the first to say that. But what's easy in life? Nothing comes for nothing. So you have to look at practices, is what we are saying. And I noticed there were many, I would say at least a dozen people who were knocking on the door from about the seventh week wanting to join in. And because the door was locked, they're still persistently waiting. And I'm looking forward to helping these guys, when they come on board. And you guys will be the first to take on them and buddy them to make sure that challenge that they're going to go through, particularly the pain in the initial 2 3 weeks, is going to be easy for them, much easier with you guys being there. And I salute you and I thank you for being able to do that. How are you going to treat your buddies? How are you going to treat your buddies?
You are our role model. We are going to do it the same way you have handled us. You have been like fabulous. We never feel that we are being pushed, but you always pulling us out from our comfort zone, and you do it so simply, so gradually that we didn't know that we are being pushed. We are being pushed out of a comfort zone, and we are always whenever every week you are giving us new tasks, and we are into it, and we just think how we are going to do it and how it is going to happen, and it's like the community helping each other, and we are pushing each other, pulling each other, and which is the way we are going to do with our buddies, that no matter what you can do it. And the faith you have in us, the same faith will be transmitted to them also.
I'm just sitting back here and watching, hearing you both, and then listening to and reading some of the comments and some of the text messages that are coming to me. They're saying, "Is this the same person we met on week one, on week two? She's talking. She's talking so much. One person is talking so much." That's really good. I mean, I'm so proud of you guys. Jyoti, where from here for you?
So now I will take this journey forward, and I have my own mastermind, and I'll
Mm-hmm.
be touching more lives. So I have this thing that do you touch lives or only your smartphones? So idea is to touch more lives through the skills that we have.
Right.
And as I said, I'm a very patriotic person, and having
Mm-hmm.
seen half the world, it used to hurt me a lot when people called us developing nation. So we have to regain our lost glory. And for any country, human resources are very important. It's only when we work on our people that we move ahead in life.
Right. Right. Yeah, and I having that as a anchor and making sure that you're transparent and you're doing everything ethically is the keynote to stepping up and helping the community. I mean, the world needs people. The world needs people like us, and that's basically what I keep saying.
True,
You have an obligation. You have each
true.
one of us have got an obligation, not just you. Each one of us has got an obligation, and that's why when you started talking about it, I don't know if you do recall on week one, we mentioned about the 10 word, 2 letter phrase. If it is to be, it is up
It's
to
up
me.
to me.
Take
Yes,
full
Yes,
accountability. Take full
yes.
accountability and work for it. So I sincerely love, to have worked with you, and I'm planning to work with you again for the next. Many are saying, MRM is going to be an eternal community for the group, and it might end up doing that with leaders like you coming up and going to run it. So I salute you for doing that. Any? Would you like to capsule final comments for the audience from each of your perspectives? I give you about 3 to 4 minutes. Just summarizing what you think, how you have come where you are, and what you want to do for them or help them, or a word for encouragement for the community out there. I'll start with you, Jyoti.
So we have to take our own responsibility and move ahead in life. As I said, we have to move from unconscious states to the conscious states where we question ourselves that why are we here? What is our purpose? And the next step is understanding our subconscious mind and the powers that we have. We are here for a purpose. Life is not like for nothing. And the next step that we touch is the universal consciousness. And that is the point where the universe opens up the resources for us. We meet the right mentors, we meet our tribe. This is where the synchronicities happen. And this is a place where, we surrender with faith and gratitude and move on the path of purpose. So
Good.
I would like to take all the learnings and move ahead in the path of my purpose, helping people.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. And yourself, Doctor. And when you mentioned synchronity, a lot of people had a bit of dubious inhibitions on that when I remember discussions on it. But you see, once you've tasted, it's like I always say, once you taste a good biryani, you always want to chase it, right? And the same thing applies here. Dr. Fauzia,
Absolutely. Once they'll
yeah,
have this taste of this MRM, they are not going to leave it. They are going to be part of this MRM for the rest of their life. So because what I think that people have these needs, basic needs, the physiological needs, social needs, and psychology, when they are met, and 80% of the people we in this country have this at for the gods, thank for the gods for this, that we are so well off that we are 80% of people are fulfilling these needs. So the next needs comes in that of respect and dignity, and that we are working through. That is why we are called a developing nation. But I want my country to be, and each and every person of my country to reach the highest point. That is the self-actualization. That is what Maslow have said in his theory, need of hierarchy of needs. When we reach that point, then so the then we will be a different person, because it is the last piece of the cake. It makes your cake complete. It's the cherry on the cake. So you have, if you want your life to be complete, so start thinking about your purpose of your life, because that is what gives you energy, that will give you the vision, that will make your life worth living. And you will leave a life, or you will leave a legacy, and people will remember you even after your death. And that is why we are here, that is why we have been gifted a unique gift by the Lord. So just start searching for it. We all are unique, and we all are contribute to this. And this reminds me of a Zen story I have read about the description of a hell and heaven.
yeah,
One person having a view of a hell, and there everyone is starving, and they were totally hungry, and they were fighting for the food. But the thing is, the food was in front of them, but and the problem was the fork and knife that was tied to their hands was so long that they turned their hands towards their mouth, the fork or the knife was so long that they can't put into their mouth. And they were all starving, they were all hungry. And the same person when have the view of the heaven, and the situation was same over there. The knife and forks were tied to their hand, and they when they bent, they won't go in directly into their mouth. So what they were doing in heaven, they was just feeding each other. If they can't fold the fork for themselves, they're feeding the each other, and that's what make that place a heaven. So that what I think for this world to be like that. We have been gifted unique things, and we have been made unique, so we should start contributing to each other. That would make the world worth living.
now it's interesting. It's interesting you say that. There is so much written about metaphors like that, and a lot of people do not see the deep essence of it. And I really admire you for coming up with that metaphor and sharing to people the power of a mastermind, and why through that process of constant giving and sharing is how basic foundation of LOVE appears. And if you can work on those foundations rather than promote the key words out there, love and hope and all of that, if you work on the foundations and take accountability for that, nothing will going to stop you to get where you want in life. And that's, I admire both of you for firstly having the courage to come in I know it's been a challenge, but I wanted to do this. And when I selected, I said, I'm going to work with these ladies. And I really sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, I'm truly proud to see how you have transformed and been able to sort of share your perspective of, yes, MRM, more importantly, of you, and then getting the journey of the purpose in place and the book Grail. By the way, I don't think either of you had mentioned this, and I'm going to mention it. I want your perspective of this. The whole proceeds for that particular book called Grail is actually being channeled to two charities, and it will be permanently put that way. The first charity is for the aged community in India, and the second charity is for the physically and displaced kids, to help them with their education of the future, such that we can actually bring up some upcoming future kids. What's your thoughts on it? I mean, I kept asking most of the authors, how did you find that when when we dropped that banner on you? What's your thoughts when I said that, and I didn't get your perspective of it? So share that, please. How did you feel when I made that announcement that it's going for charity rather than to our pockets?
It was like a very great thing because we have been doing it without a penny, and after doing with so much of hard work, so many authors work day and night for the promotions and the bindings and the paginations and all those things, and they all are feeling like they are on a higher state, because when you contribute your earnings, that is like a very great thing, and it with a very great form of detachment, that you have it and you can give it. So this is like you can talk very good things, you, because it feels very nice, you feel it, but when it comes to action, it really proves very hard, and your decisions make us proud of that. We really feel proud that we are going to be a part of that community, that purpose that is going to benefit the most blessed person. I find these people more blessed because they are differently abled. We don't know how they are, but if we could them help them in their education, we are basically nurturing them for future challenges. And there are so many viral videos that shows that how when they such people are nurtured, they get the breakthroughs, and they break the records for their nations and for their countries. So I was very proud of this decision you made when announcement of this
Thank
decision.
you. Absolutely. Thank you so, so much. Jyoti, yours.
Yeah, so David, in our community, we have a concept of tithing 10%. We call it thus one, the 1/10 part. So that is our contribution, giving back to universe. So that concept has been there, and in fact, the book that I wrote 25 years ago, I had given the copyright to institutes. So all the earnings have been going to them only. So I
Wow.
believe in this noble cause, and particularly helping the children and aged. It's our responsibility to take care of uh, children and aged people.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Ladies, I really must thank you for taking time off and coming and sharing your perspective of your journey, and at the same time, where you plan to go with this. So, sincere thanks for that. And to the audience, I totally appreciate the hour that you spent with us. I thank you for that. But more importantly, let's not just put words into it, let's put action to make this thing crystallize. Thank you so much, ladies, and wish you all the best. Take care now. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Namaste.
Thank you so much, David.